there, and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews with me, George. And today's review is actually, I will admit, one that I've really struggled with. This is a review that I just really, for a long time, was almost putting off. Didn't quite know how to tackle this one. How do you tackle an album, a review of an album, that is by someone who is a legendary, world-renowned, iconic musician, a guitarist? The giveaway there, if it's not big enough, give away the review title. But how do you review an album from someone, a guitarist, who is so well renowned, who is such an absolute virtuoso, who is a master musician? How do you tackle that? Well, I am, of course, talking about the wonderful, grand new album, Universal, from MSG, the Michael Schenker group, the legend himself. Just trying to show you that cool, absolutely bizarre artwork there. Hopefully it's not too glary. How do you tackle this album? Well, the way I'm going to go about it is I'm going to start off by saying, and it will come as no surprise to any fan of Michael or the MSG albums or his work with UFO or with Scorpions, it will come as no surprise to say that throughout this album, Michael's guitar playing is amazing. There, got it off my chest. Michael is a great guitarist, a fantastic, phenomenal guitarist. And throughout this album, he is amazing. His leads are incredible. His solos are awe-inspiring. His rhythm sections are absolutely thunderous, just pure rock and verging on metal. He is just a great guitarist. And he's not, although this is Michael Schenker album, he's not all over the place, widdly-diddly, crazy solos, absolutely everywhere, right in your face. It doesn't, the guitarist being the sole kind of member of, if you will, of the Michael Schenker group over the years. Michael, it being his band, has been the consistent member. Different vocalists, different musicians come and go. His playing does not drown out any of the other instruments or musicians. It doesn't overpower them. It's melded in together very well. It could be because it's a really well produced album, but his guitar playing, it fits. It fits in. It's all cohesive. It's all very nicely, well orchestrated, mixed brilliantly. Absolutely. His musicianship aside, he has assembled a excellent band here. The vocals on this album are largely handled by a guy that, when I first heard him with The Ferryman, actually, I wasn't too sure about him. I wasn't entirely convinced about Ronnie Romero. I thought, this guy reminds me a little bit too much of Dio. Just a little bit. Coincidence, maybe, with the name, the fact that he's also involved with, Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow. Coincidence? I think not. But on this album, and on his work previously with Michael, he sounds fantastic. He has his own signature sound. He sounds brilliant. Lyrically, I think this album is a little bit kind of iffy at times, but if you're a lyrics kind of listener, then you're not really going to find too many deep soul-searching moments on this album, but there's a few moments, absolutely. Lyrics aside as well, Ronnie's voice is amazing, very powerful stuff, crystal clear, but with a harsh edge, like a Coverdale. He's got something there. I'm not going to compare him to anyone else, but he's got the makings of a absolute star, definitely. He's got the voice. So we've established that. Ronnie's a tremendous vocalist. Michael is a world-renowned phenomenon. Legendary guitarist, absolutely, 100%. The songs. Well, let's start. I don't know if you can see there. Trying to get the track list in there, but red on a dark background with this kind of lighting isn't great. But we're kicking off with Emergency, a rockin' number, heavy number. And actually, I think this album, along with 2021's Immortal, I think that was for Michael's 50th anniversary of being a recording musician. I think that this album walks the line very neatly between hard rock or heavy rock and heavy metal, traditional heavy metal. It's somewhere teetering along that edge, because at times it's a bit too heavy for rock, but it's a little bit too mellow for metal. And I think that's brilliant, actually, because it meets the best of both worlds and it ticks all the boxes. Certainly, these are great songs. As I say, Emergency, a good rocking number. Lyrically, not entirely amazing, not blown away. It's a little bit kind of cheesy, shall we say, but a great song, a heavy rocking song. Under Attack. Now that is the second track. Starts off like a melodic rocker and then takes a deeper, darker dive. Plenty of crunch in there, plenty of great riffs and solos, absolutely. But it has certainly those traits where it's starting to verge on metal. And it's a heavy number juxtaposed with the contrast of those melodic rocking moments. A great song. Calling Baal is a really, really nice little interlude piece. It's like the sounds of space on a keyboard. It's really hard to explain. It's just a brief interlude before A King Has Gone. One of the standout moments of the album. Vocals are handed on to Michael Kiske for this track. World-renowned vocalist in the metal world, of course. Known primarily for his involvement with German power metal legends Helloween, as well as cropping up in numerous other outfits. This guy is an amazing vocalist and it's so well suited to this song. This song is a tribute to the mighty Ronnie James Dio, rest in peace, long live rock and roll. He is given such a great tribute here. It's a lovely piece. The lyrics involving Dio and Rainbow and Sabbath song titles. It's a really fitting tribute. The riffs are really crunchy, powerful. It's very uplifting. It's got a very epic, grand sound. And it's just a brilliant number. Absolute standout moment. Cannot recommend that one enough. The Universe. That is a fantastic track again. They're all really good songs, actually. There isn't a duff number here. The Universe is a very epic song. It's a bit slower, and we have vocal contributions from the great Gary Barden here, and it's a slower pace, almost a little tinge of doom in there, and maybe that's because I'm listening to this with the ears of someone who's primarily listened to extreme metal and heavy metal for the last, well, nothing that isn't metal, shall we say, for the last 15 years since getting into music. So let's just say I think this is a bit of a heavier edge, a little bit of a doomier vibe in there, but it's great, very epic, very big sounding, just a really good number. Long Road, a good rocking number, very good actually. Certainly fits in a bit more with the Scorpions UFO period of Schenker with the melodies there. Really good one. Wrecking Ball turns things up a little bit heavier. Again, starting to cross that gap between heavy rock and metal with a very Judas Priest sounding number. Very melodic, heavy, in a heavy rocking sense, with vocal contribution or vocal duties handled by the great Ralph Sheepers, formerly of Gamma Ray, German power metal legends, and currently of Primal Fear, again, power metal legends, heavy metal legends. A great song, heavy, catchy, hard rocking, full of attitude. A really good number. Moving on, Yesterday Is Dead, another great rocking track. Onto London Calling, which is a very, very melodic, punchy number, a heavy rocker, the tribute to heavy metal, quoting very much the London scene of the 80s, early 80s, late 1970s, with references to Maiden and Priest and Top of the Pops, and it's an ode to the new album. It's like a tribute to the new album. A heavy number and a really good, catchy song. All of these are memorable tracks, 100%. Moving on to Sad Is the Song, a darker track. Definitely a bit more of a mood there. There's more of an atmosphere, darker kind of nature to it. But again, a really heavy rocking track. A really good song. Au Revoir, a bit of a sort of cheesy, sleazy rock number, closes the main album. Before, and if you get this version anyway, this initial release digipack from Atomic Fire Records, you get 2 bonus tracks, both of which I think are a little bit better than Au Revoir. Certainly Turn Off the World, a good, uplifting, but potent rocker. It's a great one, such good riffs in these tracks as well. And then Fighter, which is a very, very crunchy, attitude-filled, heavy rocking track. Absolutely brilliant. Ronnie's vocals, particularly on that track, are really good, showing a different side to his vocals. Really good stuff. Now there you have it. I mean, what else can you say about this album? Michael Schenker Group, the MSG, Universal, 2022, certainly one of the best albums of this year so far. It's an incredible album. He sounds brilliant. The band sounds fantastic. It's certainly one to check out. If you like Michael's work with UFO, with Scorpions, with MSG, with Macaulay Schenker Group, with any of these other names and additions that he's put his hand to over the years, you're going to love it. It's a great song. If you're a heavy metalhead, if you're a heavy rock fan, this album is not one to be missed. It is an album worth listening to. 100% recommend it. If you've heard it, let me know what you think. How do you think it compares to Michael's later work with the MSG and Michael Schenker Fest, or Michael Schenker's Temple of Rock? I'm interested to hear what other people think about this album compared to what else he's been doing lately, or from way back when. Check it out, but thank you very much for watching. If you like the review, if you like the album, a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated. Check back soon for more reviews and word of all things heavy. Take care, my friends. Stay heavy.